Hey, look at me. What up, bros? This is Zacharias. Oh, very busy morning this morning. Oh. Scale model Eric. Hey, the family is good, but I'm a little bit not stressed, just busy. Very busy this morning. Very busy. Yeah, I was trying to think of a different word, but no, that's it. This week I started going to the gym in like the mornings before coming into work here. So yeah, it kind of makes the morning schedule a little bit tight. I need to like help my daughter eat breakfast and then get on the bus, and then as soon as she's off on the bus I go into the gym for like 45 minutes and then need to shower and get ready and come into here. So not really any set time that I need to be in here unless I'm doing a live stream, which is why it was a little bit more hectic this morning because I need to prepare, get everything all set up and all that. My setup for live streaming is not permanent, I had to change it up whenever I'm doing this. So D'Angelo, you're broke and payday is tomorrow. Well, don't worry about it, man. I think you earned a day off from donating with the super chat. I always appreciate it. Don't worry about it. Let's see who else is here. I saw some people over there on Twitch. Let me scroll back up. Andrev and Spidey. I don't know if I've seen you, Spidey, on Twitch recently. Have I or not? Don Antonio on Facebook. Hello. And let's see, on YouTube we got Joey. Mikhail needs to sleep, and I think we all get the picture now. Mikhail can ease up on that. Let's see, Gojira, Adi, Brian, what's going on, Brian? Let's see, and if Travis is there with you, hi to Travis as well. LG Industries, oh, LG Industries. I'm finally making an impact here in Korea. LG is actually watching my channel. That's amazing. Nice. All right. Ben Smith, yes, indeed. It has been commanded. All right. Goslin said, while fiddling with this kit, with this model today, the backpack popped off, and now I need to put it back. Oh, I'll be careful with this. By the way, I was thinking that I'm not going to put the full Gundam together because I'm going to do it like I did my review yesterday. If you guys saw my review, what was it yesterday? The day before. Where I show it to you guys first to just show you the separate parts, like the top half, the bottom half, the core fighter, all separate at the beginning of the review, and then I'll put it together for the review. But I feel kind of sad to not show you guys watching live the full Gundam all built up, so I guess I'll probably have to do that, and then I'll just take it apart again to show it separated in the review. I'll do that for y'all, because I can't shoot the review today anyway, so I've got some time to probably shoot it beginning of next week, because my turntable here, it's supposed to rotate, broke. It's USB powered, and like where the USB plug goes in there, like on the inside of there, I don't know what it's called, but like the metal contact that like it plugs into, came loose and like fell out and was like rattling around in there. It's not rattling anymore. I don't think it fell out because I was trying to take this apart to see if I could fix it. And there's a screw underneath, and I'm like screwing it, and the screw is not coming out, screwing it, and the screw is not coming out of there. So I don't know how to take this apart. I'm tempted to just like rip it apart, see if I can fix that. Oh, there's the contact. I can see it now actually. But it's like stuck to something. Why is it stuck there? It's weird. So it must be some like oh yeah, it must be like some oil or something on that plastic piece. That's why. See, you can hear it now. Let's see if I can. There you go. Shake it out of there. So yeah, this little guy came off. I figure I'm not good at all with electronic stuff, and I have a soldering iron. I could maybe try to solder that back on. These cost like 20 bucks though, so I could do like a shoddy job, or I'll probably just buy a new one. I don't know. If I can't even get it apart, that's the first problem. So I don't know why. Do you guys know, is that like some like goofy kind of screw that like doesn't like unscrew as it's meant to or something? Let's see. Gail said, "Hey, is I planning to paint the Psycho frame on my MGEX, but how's the tolerance on the parts?" I didn't notice anything like too much that would make me too worried about it, but I wasn't really paying attention to that too much either. But I think you'd probably be okay painting the Psycho frame parts. Are you gonna paint them in like a clear color or something? Because it seems like a shame to paint over the Psycho frame parts and then not be able to utilize the LEDs. But if you're just doing like a clear color or something, then I imagine it should be fine. You don't, I mean, because if you're doing like a regular, if you were painting the Psycho frame in like candy red or something like that, for example, you have to do like your primer and then your like base gold or silver or whatever, and then your clear coat over that, and then some top coat over that. I mean clear color, and then some top coat. So it's a lot of layers. But if you're just doing only a clear color on top of the Psycho frame, really all you need is just your clear color and then maybe some gloss top coat. It shouldn't add too much to it, so it should be fine. Julia Stemsky had a question here too. When will you be accepting questions for the next USA Gundam Store? Yeah, actually, I just realized this yesterday. We were supposed to have an episode this week, but I kind of forgot about it. So we'll have an episode of the next live stream there on the USA Gundam TV channel. We'll have another one next week. I'll have to set that up with Adam when the time is going to be. Let's see, Mike over on Twitch said, "It's most likely stripped or a type of screw that only threads on one part." Yeah, that's what I figured, Mike. Something like that. It's so verify, indeed. Oh, you guys can't see it, it's just white. Made in China. Anyway, of course. Let's see. Gail said, "Yes, planning to paint in clear red or green." Yep. Okay, sure. I feel ya. I really wanted to use the Armed Armor DE shield parts with mine because they fit on there, which is cool. But I just didn't really like how the Armed Armor DE shield Psycho frame parts are in the clear pink, and then the rest of the Psycho frame parts are in just that plain clear. So like when it's lit up, it's gonna look like kind of pink, right? But it's still not gonna match exactly. So it was just bothering too much, the fact they didn't match. So I decided against it. Let's see. Avalok on Twitch said, "Not gonna lie, I got into this hobby and attempting to make my MG F91 into the F91 image Imagine, and kind of scare me since my first attempt painting it. Okay, how are we painting that? Interesting." Sup? Hello. Jason, what's going on? Can you please make another Gundam meme review? Yeah. I posted about that on my Facebook page like a couple weeks ago or something, right? And a lot of people posted memes on there, so I haven't looked at them. I'll do that. Yeah, probably. I don't want to look at them ahead of time because then, like, once I've already seen it once, then I might not laugh if I see it again. You know, I need to like see it. I need to be recording myself the first time I watch it, so I haven't looked at that. After I posted about that, I haven't actually looked at the stuff that people commented in that post, but I saw it got a ton of comments, so I'm sure there's some good ones in there. So yeah, I'll do another meme review video. Today, I'm doing, it's not a meme review, but it is going to be, slightly skit comedy kind of video here for the cup noodle. That's my plan for this afternoon after we're done here today. So yeah, as I mentioned just a little bit ago, and we'll get to building here, I promise. As I mentioned earlier this week, I started going to the gym, and I really don't like going to the gym, which is the reason why I just don't exercise, because I just don't like it. The only kind of exercise that I really do enjoy is riding my bicycle, but it's just kind of hard to find the time to do that. So trying to get in shape, and so one of the things I think I figured would help me was to like post every day, and I know a lot of people do that, and like I don't know, Alex, friend of the channel, Alex does that. If any of you guys are friends with him on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen his daily gym posting. But it's really helpful. Just I know it kind of like blows up people's feed with like your gym spam every day. But it's really helpful to like stay committed to it. You know, if you're like trying to post every day. So I wanted to do that because I figured that would probably help me to stick with it. Because a lot of times over the past, I've been like trying to get back into exercising or something to try to get back into shape, and I'll go for like a week or two, and then I'll just kind of like stop. So I'm trying to stick with it, and so I didn't want to just like blow up my Facebook feed with that, and I didn't want to use like my Gunpla Instagram account because I feel like that people probably wouldn't really appreciate it. The people who do follow me for Gunpla on my Instagram account. So I made a second separate Instagram account just for that. So if you guys do want to follow me, and I'll talk about this later on as well too in the ramen video. It's actually part of that. If you guys do want to follow my fitness progress, I'll be posting that on my Instagram account, which is just Zaku Fitness. So I wanted to keep it related to my main just Zaku Aurelius account. So if you just search on there instead of Zaku Aurelius, if you just search Zaku Fitness, you can find it. I believe I have 0 followers at the moment because I just started a few days ago and it's like nothing. So if you go there right now, you could be my very first follower on that page. So check that out if you're interested in that. And as it goes, I want to try to also use it for not only posting just like gym progress, but also like kind of mental health related stuff. Not necessarily like I don't know, nothing like too deep, like mental health. What I mean by that is just like talking about like some books that I'm reading or something, or like if there was something in a book that I was reading, some quote or something that I thought would be cool to share with you guys, then I might share something like that. So not like inspiring quotes, not like too cheesy or anything, but something along those lines. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so check that out if you want to. And also, let me see. Sorry, while I was talking about that, Gojira, thank you for using the super chat. He said, when Bandai specifies colors in the instruction manual, whose paint are they using for the basis of the Mr. Hobby, Gaia, etc.? Yeah, Mr. Hobby usually. Yeah. Not usually, always, as far as I know. It's always referring to Mr. Hobby. Ben, it's okay, I got it. You don't need to shout at me. I got it. I saw his question. I'll get to it. All right. Okay. So building this, I mean, a lot of the kit is going to be the same as the regular GP01, which I just built just a few days ago, so it should be pretty familiar, but there will be some sections like the core fighter, which are obviously going to be different, so let's see, where's that part? H. This part that goes on the front of there. Huh? Why am I not seeing that? It's supposed to be blue or yellow? Where is it? Should be little parts that go on the front of there. Probably what it is. Oh, there it is. They're white. Yes. It's just something that was not obvious to me. For us, yes, Zaku Fitness. You'll see. It's just pictures of me, basically, on there. So I haven't posted yet for today. Like I said, this morning was kind of hectic, so I'll have to... shoot! And also, forgot to weigh myself after that. Yellow, thank you also for using the super chat there. Any MG recommendations? I love the Zaku 2.0 and you. Well, thank you. I'll get back to that question here in just a second. Anna also on Twitch I just want to make sure I catch this before it disappears in the chat. I was wondering what's the oldest kit you've ever built in terms of release year. Anna, to answer your question, probably the old 1/44 scale XS Gundam, I want to say, from the 80s. I think that's the oldest one. But Yellow, to answer your question about MG recommendations, if you love the Zaku 2.0, then I would say check out the Gelgoog 2.0. The Gelgoog 2.0, also a very good kit. And let's see, the Gyan 2.0, if you like the design of the Gyan. I don't really particularly like the design of the Gyan much. I loved the HG Revive kit, but I don't really like the Gyan enough that I've really wanted to check out the MG 2.0. But if it's anything like the Zaku or the Gelgoog 2.0, then I'm sure it's good. So that, I mean, any of the 2.0s really. Freedom 2.0 is fantastic. The Gundam 2.0 is good. It's just that with the Gundam 2.0, personally, I would kind of prefer either the 3.0 or the Origin version, personally. But the 2.0 also very good, surely. Also, anything like based off the 2.0, like the Master Grade Zaku Red Warrior, also is just based off the Gundam 2.0. It's good. The Goof is basically, oh yes, the Goof 2.0, right. Unfortunately, there's no Goof Custom 2.0 still yet, but fingers crossed that someday that'll come out. These little attachment guys here for, oops, can you guys see that okay? The MG Gundam Amazing Red Warrior is a kit I really want. Yeah, Silver Wolf. Yes, it was a cool kit. The HG, it was cool, but like it didn't really like wow me or anything. The black version though was a lot more impressive for me. I think it's just because just seeing it in a different color other than just like a kind of generic red was interesting. Seeing it in black, I really liked the black version quite a bit. The red version, even though it's kind of mostly the same, just kind of felt a little bit boring. The Mark II 2.0 MG is also good, but the RG is really good. You can go with the other one. Yeah, Anna, that's a good point. The Gundam Mark II, if you're a fan of the Mark II design, actually kind of, there's the Master Grade 2.0, which is great, the RG is great, and the HD Revive is also really great, in my opinion, as well, too. Some people don't like the proportions of the HD Revive, but I personally really do. So for me, it's really a toss-up which one I like more in 1/44 scale, the HD Revive or the RG, because I really like the design of both of them for different reasons. The RG is much more detailed, of course. The HD, though, I really like those proportions. Do you want an MG Goof flight type? Yes, I do. Actually, Jin Sniper is an MG Goof flight type would be awesome. I love that design. That's another HG based off of the Revive. No, it's not. It's based off of the HG. Sorry, not the Revive Goof. It's based off of the HGUC Goof Custom, which is a really great kit as well too. So, yeah, it's a P-Bandai kit, unfortunately, but if you can get that, highly recommend that kit. It was a P-Bandai kit originally, and then they made a Gundam Base limited version of that, which is probably, it's in their like real type colors, and that's probably cheaper to get because it's much more accessible. Are you interested in any of the new P-Bandai announced? Reiji asking me if I'm interested in the new P-Bandai. What was some new P-Bandai stuff announced this morning? I haven't seen it. What else is new P-Bandai announced? You're talking about like the Advanced Zeta P-Bandai announcements from like a week and a half ago, or like 2 weeks ago or something like that? Chris Bullis asked, do you like the HD of this kit? I've never built, wait a minute, have I? I have the HD, I know like way back when I first started Gunpla, this would be like around 20 years ago. I built the HG GP03, I know, and then I think I have this one as well too, I believe. I had two different Stardust Memory Gundams. I don't think it was the Zephyranthus, I think it was this one, yeah. And the Stamen, I believe. Let's see, and then... Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Reiji, if there's anything else that that's recently been announced as P-Bandai, I don't recall off the top of my head. I know there's the new version of the Hyakushiki Crash, the gold Hyakushiki Crash. I didn't really like the design of the Hyakushiki Crash much. I will say the gold version though does look better, so I'm kind of a little bit more interested in that. But still, I don't know if I'm gonna go for that. Still, probably not. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys beefing about there in the chat? Let's see. Cool how like the backpack is part of the core fighter as well too with this. I guess that's kind of usually the case, isn't it? But I don't know. For some reason. It seems like, I guess like with stuff like I don't know. Just seems like with some other Gundams, the backpack, like the core fighter being a part of the backpack is not like a very substantial thing. Well, like for the RX-78 for example, it's obviously the backpack is not part of the core fighter. I guess it's like it would mainly just be the G Gundams where the core fighter is kind of usually part of the backpack, right? And usually they're like not very substantial. Like the God Gundam, of course, has the big wings and all that, but usually it's not really anything too crazy. Let's see. So then, so actually the first step is actually only building the core fighter, but I have all the parts set out here for the torso as well, which is actually towards the end of the build, but just for the sake of keeping everything organized parts wise, for me it was kind of easier to do it like this. But so we'll finish the core fighter here and then I just skip ahead in the manual to building the torso parts. I built it the other day. I have this extra kit waiting. I have the extra core fighter and the HG kit. Chris, as far as I can remember, the HG kit, I mean, it's fine. Like proportionally, it kind of looks alright too. It's got a bunch of seam lines, of course. The articulation's not that good because it's very early, very early in the HG line. But aside from that, no, I mean, yeah, as far as I can remember, it's not it's not that bad of a kit, all things considered. So, let's see, this does need to go, well, it says to go in here a certain way, but it doesn't really seem that important. So, that goes on there, that goes here, and this little cap piece. Little cap is a wrapper, right? It's a Brick Squad wrapper, is it? Or is it just cap? I don't remember. Maybe it was little cap and then he changed it to just cap because he didn't want to be little anymore. Or am I mistaken? Kind of weird how the beam saber handles are like really weirdly far sticking out on this tiny little arm there like that. That's kind of odd looking. Let's see. Which of the HG granddaddies is your favorite? That's that Brian asked that. Which of the HG granddaddies is my favorite? That's a tough question. If you count the HG the Origin version as it's technically a granddaddy, then the HG Origin version probably is my favorite. The Revive version, though, also great. The Beyond Global version, also great. It's got some kind of goofy bits, though. For like the overall best bang for your buck, though, like I still think probably the Revive version is still probably the best. But if you wanted to spend a little more and you don't mind it being the Origin version rather than the like original anime version, then the Origin version definitely I like. So yeah, I want to check in the manual if that's really correct or how those beam sabers look on them. That's weird. I guess so. Yeah, like these really tiny little scrawny baby arms there. beam sabers. And let's see. Ian, as always, thank you for your super chat there as well. Ian, will you be getting the RG new Gundam heavy weapon system or MG Testament? The MG Testament, no. The heavy weapon system new, yes. I'm impatiently waiting for mine. Well, yes. I thought about the MG Testament because I do kind of like the Testament design. I built the Dragon Momoko version ages ago, as you guys probably know. But I actually sold that. Got rid of it because, I don't know. It's okay, but it's not really all that interested. Bandai's version did look really cool, though. I'll give them that. But I've got lots of other stuff here. I'm kind of didn't really need that. But the heavy weapon system new, definitely looking forward to that. Let's see. I'm using the HG to pose with the core fighter. Ah, yes. This kit would look awesome in Zeta Plus colors, gray and navy blue. Blaze. Yeah, Blaze, I definitely agree. I don't think I mentioned this in the review, but for the GP01 Zephyranthus build the other day, I didn't build it live, but I guess just the review that you guys saw. I was really impressed with the kit. I really like the look of it, as I talked about in the review. But whenever I get around to painting it, I'll definitely be painting it in some custom colors, because I think it's gonna look like really cool in some custom colors. I've seen it done. Seems kind of a little bit loose there, but I've seen it done in some very cool custom colors. I think it was, I don't know, I'm sure probably other people have done this as well too, but I know Justin painted his, I believe it was in like a orange and gray kind of color scheme, which looked really cool on it. So yeah, something, yeah, kind of gray, like orange and gray, or gray and blue, something like that. Or just anything like kind of Sentinel related, yeah, would probably look pretty cool. Those kind of like very spacey looking colors, right? Definitely. What was it that I was thinking of? Actually, on that note, on the cup ramen, I want to do a custom paint scheme on this, and I was thinking about doing like a hummingbird kind of paint scheme on that, where it's just like the red or blue. I haven't decided which version it would be, the red or the blue version hummingbird, but where it's got that kind of big block camo. You know what I'm talking about? Very cool. Sentinel style. You see it sometimes on the XS Gundam as well too, depending on which art you're looking at for it. But yeah, I'm thinking to do a color scheme like that on the cup noodle. It'd be fun. I'm definitely not worried about wanting to paint it up in like a realistic like cup noodle color scheme. I'm gonna paint it something custom. Anything like doing like a Char's custom or something like that, or a Gundam R782 like tricolor color scheme just seemed like too boring, so I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. I was thinking about doing like a Machine and Krieger style as well too, like hand painting it. So I may do that, kind of on the fence. Maybe I'll put it to you guys. What do you think would be kind of more cool? Like Hummingbird, Sentinel, XS kind of like style color scheme on that, or Machine and Krieger kind of style colors. I think like whenever I think about it, I think I'm always gonna come down on the side of Machine and Krieger color schemes looking more cool, because they just look more cool, and especially on something like goofy like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Sentinel colors would also look really cool. This is kind of hard to do. I had trouble with this on the first kit, and I think I'm gonna probably struggle with it on this kit as well too. You guys who have built this kit, putting this part, the lower part of the cockpit hatch into the, well, actually this time it seems like I got it in there pretty easily. On the first time building the kit, it was kind of tricky to get that into there, and this one as well too. So you kind of have to pop them into there like a weird angle. You can't really get a good force on it. How about Londo Bell Jesta style color scheme? No, I don't really. No, probably not. I don't really like that. Not for that anyway. I mean, it's a cool color scheme in general, but And also, yeah, with the first one as well too, I had kind of trouble getting the cockpit hatch parts closed at first. It kind of like had to do it a couple times to kind of work the parts into place, I think, to where they closed up smoothly. You can see they're not like wanting to close up quite right, but I didn't really do anything special with the first one. I just kind of played with it, trying to get it closed right a couple times, and finally I got it. What it seems like is that this gray piece in the back of there doesn't want to push all the way in like it's supposed to. It seems like it should be pushed in like just like a millimeter, like half a millimeter more into there, and that would be the answer to the problem, but it doesn't want to go in. Let's see. I don't know, maybe that's kind of roughly good enough anyway. Trying to catch up here in the chat a little bit. Axel, I'm gonna give you a timeout here for a minute. Speedball Haro asks, what's your opinion on the Gunpla 40th Memorial 144 scale RX-782 set with half clear RG RX-782 kit? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen about that. What is that? Silver Wolf, with how complex the Delta Gundam's transformation is, they wouldn't be able to get away with just changing some parts. Are you talking about making a Yeah, this looks like Blaze also had trouble with the cockpit hatch. And let's see, who was that on Twitch as well too? Someone also I saw mention about that also, didn't I? Or was it on YouTube? Anyway. Yeah, if you guys have just a reminder to you guys, if you have a question for me, when you put it in the chat, just tag me in there so that way I can see it easier in the chat when I look up at it. Otherwise it's kind of hard to see what's going on here with the chat. What's your opinion on the MG XX Gundam? I really liked it. Still not yet built the MG Gundam X, but it looks really cool. Looks good, solid as far as I can tell. But the XX I did build and I liked it. Yeah, it was cool. Which Fed grunt suit would you like to see get turned into an RG? Fed grunt suit? I don't know, like Gym 3 or something. Let's just go crazy. Gym 3 would be cool. Or like a ground gym, 8th MS team one. What do you think of the entry grade RX-78 versus the Revive? The Revive definitely looks better. The entry grade, especially like in the joints, you can see it's very cheap, which it is, which is great. But for just a little bit more, you can get the Revive, and I definitely think the Revive is a lot better. But I haven't built the entry grade yet, so I'll have to see. Any plans on building Eastern model Attack Girls or the new Mega Man Zero? The new Mega Man Zero, no. Don't really have any plans to build any Mega Man kits. But the Attack Girls, yeah, I have a couple of them, actually. I have a couple. I just need to get around to building them. I just bought the RG New Gundam. Anything I should worry about before building? Vince, no. Nothing as far as I can remember with the RG New Gundam. RG Crossbone will be here tomorrow. Nice one, Chris. RG Gelgoog. Yeah, RG Gelgoog would be awesome. Definitely. Not Zach, but there's... yeah. Hunter, hello, I'm a big fan. Well, hello, Hunter. Alright, let's finish up this torso so that we can actually move on with the build here. So 7, we need to put this on here first. On top of here. And in the comment section for my review of the regular GP01s of Ranthis the other day, there's a lot of people saying that they had trouble with the kit, which, like, I mentioned in the review, I knew that it's a kit that a lot of people complain about. Where'd that part go? I knew it was a kit that is known to be kind of troublesome, but I had so little trouble with it. That's kind of one of the reasons why I was so impressed with the kit. But, like, yeah, I'm sure it still can be a troublesome kit, you know. But I think, like, I mean, as far as I could tell from my experience building it, it just seems like if you're just careful with it, you know, you're just gentle with it, don't jack around with it too much, then it should be fine. That's the experience that I'm having with these kits so far. With the first one, and then, I mean, obviously with this one, I just started building it, but how to set a price for a Gunpla custom? Asmara, I'm guessing you're asking me about like selling a custom Gunpla or doing a custom commission or something like that. Basically, I've done a video about this, so you can go ahead and check that out. If you just search like search on YouTube Zacharilius commissions, something like that. I did a video about commission work. But basically, I mean, just charge whatever you're comfortable with. You know, it's your time, it's your effort that's going into making it, so you need to be comfortable with the amount of money that you're getting for your work, right? So, and you also need to basically just think about it, I mean, like a skilled job, right? So if you're charging $50, for example, to paint an HG kit, just if you're just doing a custom paint scheme, so nothing crazy, no like crazy modifications or kit bashing or anything like that, just custom colors on an HG kit, no modifications at all, and you're gonna charge like $50. It seems reasonable, right? But if you think about that in terms of hours, I mean, that's to do all that, and if you got to do like decals and panel lining and all that stuff too, top coating and all that, plus the actual building process at first, sanding, all the prep work that's required, it's easily over 10 hours of work, even for a simple HG. I mean, unless you're like really cutting corners and really doing like a really speed job on it, which you could do. I wouldn't personally feel comfortable doing that if it was something that I'm selling, and I usually sell most of my work, so if you're ever wanting to, I mean, just as a side note, if any of you guys are ever wanting to buy any work of mine, you can rest easy knowing that I didn't like cut any corners or anything like that, just because I just personally wouldn't want to ever do that. But anyway, so say for example you've got, we'll say at the bare minimum, at least 10 hours of work and doing a fully painted up HG kit. That's $5 per hour. It's much lower than minimum wage, at least in America. That's right about kind of minimum wage here in Korea, actually, unfortunately. But just think about that, just in terms of your time. If that's fine for you, or like if you're doing it for a friend and like you don't, I mean, the problem is that we all really enjoy doing this, so it's, you kind of feel bad about charging too much money about like doing something that you enjoy doing anyway, right? But it is work, and it is something that takes skill and experience to get good at. If, like, obviously if someone's paying you for your work, then that means that you must have demonstrated that you have the skills and the talent, like the creativity there, that someone wants to actually pay for something that you made. So don't undervalue yourself, then you need to kind of accept that. Like, oh, if someone's willing to pay for my work, then, you know, you need to make sure you're getting a fair price for that. So that's what I would say. But yeah, at the end of the day, just whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever whoever's buying it or ordering the commission, whatever, you know, they'll agree to. Obviously, you can't say, well, I'll only do it for 1,000, and then they're probably gonna say nah, and then you're not gonna do it. So whatever you can work out. Let's see. Get X. Get X on Twitch, and also www.suckit. Hello to a couple guys there on Twitch. How's it going? How's it going, bros? I'm also kind of just jumping around the manual here a little bit, just to the skirt armor, which is supposed to be after the arms and legs, but it's okay. And the side skirts. Yeah. Aside from these kits, both of these kits, you know, being a little bit touchy, as far as, again, most people say. Aside from that, man, they really do look fantastic, don't they? Do you plan on painting an RG Evangelion kit? Yeah, I'd love to paint an RG Eva kit. Just need to kind of fit it in the schedule, which it's not really any openings for that anytime soon, but we'll see. But I'm just working on the decals on the MGEX Unicorn. So like should probably finish the decals this weekend, and then I'm just just about to start priming the parts for the base. So the base parts are all sanded and everything. They just need to get primed and painted and everything. So should finish the MGX Unicorn next week. And then I've got the Cooster, the Machine Krieger Cooster kit, which is like just where is that? Oh, it's over there. That's just about ready to get painted as well too. All the main construction of the kit is basically done. Just need to go in and I'm gonna do a little bit of custom work on that one as well too, and then I'll get to work on painting that. So there's a few things kind of in the queue like that at the moment. So yeah, any RG Eva kits not gonna be able to be painted anytime soon. Let's see. There we go. And let's see. Side bits on here. There we go. And yeah, that goes plugged down onto the body there. So there's that, and then our side skirts. Build up a leg now, shall we? Leg. Delete Titans. Any tips on sanding before priming and painting? Sand as much as you can. By that I mean like as many surfaces as you can. Anywhere where it's going to be painted. Anywhere like exposed surface that's going to get paint on it, try to sand. I mean, there'll be a lot of tiny little nooks and crannies and things that you're not going to be able to get to easily, but yeah. And it needs to be smooth enough so that your paint can go on smoothly. But with Bandai kits, the big thing is you're wanting to mostly, especially get rid of mold lines and sinks. Bandai kits, as great as they are, the fit and everything, they do have a lot of sinks in them. They need to sand out before you get painting on them. Let's see. Dinosaur said, what would you recommend for a good starter painting kit? Depends on the scale. The Master Grade Jagan is fantastic for a good painting kit because it doesn't have a ton of parts. It's a relatively simple design for a Master Grade, but it's a really nice looking kit when it all comes together. So that's a good one. What's a good HG kit? I feel like I just recently reviewed one that I mentioned would be a really good kit to paint. I need 30 Minutes Missions kit as well too. 30 Minutes Missions kits are very cheap, simple enough. Those would be good for just starting practicing painting as well too. Let's see. Do you have a personal collection of your favorite kits? Orion? No, I don't really have any sort of like personal collection, no. Oh, this part on the back of the foot is not going to be used or something, I guess. Bend the foot down. Okay. We got our little piston guy. So stretch that once. This little piston goes here on the front. Here. Right, there we go. Then bend the foot back up. Chris, I just broke a 30 Minutes Mission kit. Oh, oops. RE100 kit for painting the first time for sure. Oh yeah, that's true. RE100 kits would be good as well too. Get one of the earlier ones though. I mean, you'd think one of the later ones would be better, but the earlier ones have fewer seam lines on them. The later ones, they got kind of, seems like, a little bit more lazy in terms of like being careful not to have any seam lines on any of the RE kits. So the early ones basically like had very few, much less anyway, I guess, but yeah, RE kits would be good. Where's the piece that I need for the side of the leg? Hello? Hiding in there, are you? Nope. Let's see. Brian, I saw your question. I was going to get back to that there. Trav was asking, would you ever consider doing a custom in the colors for brain cancer awareness? Yeah, I'd certainly consider that. Send me a message or something about that later to remind me. And maybe a reference image too of what the colors are. And yeah, certainly that'd be something I'd definitely consider. Avery's Master Grade Fish Gundam. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. David said, what are you using for cleaning some nub marks? Knife and sanding stick is usually plenty. Avery, yes, I saw your Master Grade Fish Gundam comment. Okay. I can't find the piece here that I need. Where is it? I feel like I'm probably looking right at it and it's just, I'm not seeing it. Or it's over here. There's a, oh, maybe it's this one. It is this one. I was just looking at it from the back side. I couldn't recognize it. There we go. Okay, anyway. Alright. Then these parts here on the knee. Excuse me.
Do you think we will get a PG new?
Alright, to answer your question, do I think we will get a PG new? I think probably, eventually. I don't know when, but it's likely, yeah, I would say so. I'm still a bit salty that the metal structure new was not just a PG. So rather than making that a $1,000 figure, they could have made that a $200 PG. Would have been a lot better, in my opinion. I found this part to be a little bit tricky on the other one as well too. This frame part for the lower leg kind of didn't really seem quite right, but this one went on there perfectly fine. So I don't know, I guess maybe I just needed some practice. Now, this part here on the underside of the foot, right there, and this one here. It's got this big, massive chunk back of the foot there. Very long feet on this guy. You know what they say about long feet. Do you recommend the MG Zaku cannon? Jim Sniper 2, yes, definitely. Way back, that was one of the very first kits that I reviewed, I think, here on my channel. I had the P-Bandai Unicorn version, but same thing, just a recolor. But yeah, great kit, because it's based off of the Zaku 2.0. Interesting. Yeah, very large feet, and it's really weird. The other one had this too, where like the toe is a separate piece, but it doesn't actually move. Like, kind of like wiggles a little bit, but it doesn't actually really move that much. Kind of weird. But there you go. Some massive feet. It's only going to be expounded here by some massive legs as well too, once we get everything on here. Thigh armor here first, relatively easy enough. Some ankle armor on here as well too. It kind of feels odd to put the ankle armor first before the other big leg armor. Seems usually the other way around. It's a very tiny ankle armor on this guy. I never really noticed that the ankle armor was so small on this, but I guess it's got the big massive lower leg chunks that's got to accommodate for, so guess that makes sense. Brian L, appreciate the super chat there. Fist bump. Right back at ya. And let's see, Jordy, would you? What would you do if the RG frame started to loosen and not solid as it was? Yeah, I mean that's what people are kind of generally aware of. The RG frames do tend to get more loose over time. Basically, just the thing to do is just kind of not mess around with them too much, unfortunately. Sorry to say. But again, they're model kits and not toys, so they're not really meant to be played with very much. The great thing about Bandai kits is that you can play with them quite a lot. They'll They'll say quite a lot. But they're still ultimately not really meant for that, so you know, build them up, put it in a cool pose that you like, and just leave it there. And then you probably won't experience any issues with the frame then at that point. The back thrusters are modified goof light type shoulders. Oh. Yeah, I guess they are, aren't they? Never really noticed that about the design, but I guess that's why they look so familiar, isn't it? Like, is that like canon? I mean, obviously I can see the visual similarity, but is that like actually a canon thing? Like, the development of this Gundam is actually using, like, the back thrusters are actually based off of the goof light type thrusters? That's pretty wild, if that's the case. Interesting bit of lore I was not aware of. Like, one of those things, like, now once you see it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that seems like that should have been very obvious. That's interesting. Hecker, yes, I do stream on Twitch as well too. Any of my live stream builds stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. But just the live streams, like what I do with Adam or what I do with Josh, like Gunpla Talk, with multiple people. Those live streams don't go on Twitch, only Facebook and YouTube. Hasaki, what's going on, man? Stretch out that piston there first. I think now that I've built this leg basically 3 times at this point, I think I can build the last one without the manual. Let's try it. And just so you know that I'm accomplishing this amazing feat, I'll put the manual up there. You guys all saw that. And now build this leg without the manual. It's never been done before. No one has ever attempted something as insane as this. But I'm gonna do it live here, and you guys will be the first ever to see this RG GP01 leg built with no manual. No one thought it could be done previously. Yeah. I ended up getting, Adi said I ended up getting the RX-78 version 2 PG PG red frame after the last chat. Just happy looking at the box right now. Nice. Alright. I am gonna build this a little bit out of order though here. Just because some sections of this don't really need to be built in any particular order. I'm a loner, daddy. A rebel. How did you end up in Korea? Raphael asked. Well, teaching English abroad here in Asia was something that I heard about in high school and basically wanted to do it. In Japan specifically, but it just so happened that once I graduated college, I couldn't afford to go to Japan. So I came to Korea first. I thought I'll stay in Korea for a little bit and then go to Japan. That'd be easier. And I did that. stayed here for 2 years. Then I went to Japan for a year, but then I decided that my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, was probably too good to pass up, to let go. So I decided to come back to Korea. And then not too long after that, we got married, had a baby, had another baby, moved a couple times, and now we're currently planning on moving to the US next year. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. I think I have this thigh part on there wrong, don't I? It's one slot down too many. Student. Yes, I am a dad of 2, actually. My son just had his birthday on Monday. He just turned 5. Hasaki, yes, permanently, or at least for the foreseeable future, yes, we're planning on moving back to the US. You know, we'll see how the next couple of months go, you know what I mean? Kind of dicey there in the US these days, so if it gets too crazy, that could still change, but it's not likely to change. We're pretty set on going. Love my shirts, Jonathan. If you love my shirt, you can get one for yourself. Shout out to True Gunpla. This shirt is from True Gunpla's shop. I'm not sure, I guess, on that note, I'm not actually sure if he still has this one in stock or not, but if it's still available, you can get it from True Gunpla. Your birthday was Tuesday, Chris. Well, happy belated birthday. Let's see. Why aren't you staying in Japan? Lily bitchface. Well, I explained why I didn't stay in Japan at the time, and the reason why I'm not staying in Japan now is because my wife doesn't want to live in Japan. She's Korean, obviously, and so she doesn't speak Japanese. And basically, we did talk about it years ago, because obviously, like, for my work, which at the time I was still teaching, so I wasn't doing this full time at that time, but just for doing this as like a second job as a YouTuber, as like a second job in teaching, which obviously I can teach English in Japan as well too. So we thought about it. We talked about possibly moving to Japan, but number one, my wife had no motivation to learn Japanese. She didn't want to learn Japanese. Number two, she was also worried just about like just the general like pollution, namely like radiation pollution and stuff in Japan, and all that. Yeah. So it would be very difficult with moving there and like with kids and with all of us being expats. It'd be different if like I was married to someone Japanese and living in Japan. Obviously it's a completely different story, but with both of us being expats from different countries, there's all sorts of different rules, and then having kids there, and it's complicated. Certainly possible, but very complicated and not really worth it. I would enjoy it, of course, but yeah, that's why we're not there now. But we've been there, we've visited there many times. Of course, I've been there more times than my wife, so I've been there a number of times making videos for you guys, which is very fun, which I am sad that I'm not going to be able to go there at all this year, It's like basically for like the past 11 years, I've gone basically almost once a year. I think there was maybe 1 year where I didn't go, and then this will be another year where I can't go for obvious reasons. But yeah, fortunate to usually be able to go once a year. Was really looking forward to going to Shizuoka this year. So that was a really sad shame for that to be canceled. Red Gundam says my wife doesn't even want to visit Japan. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. The sad part is that, I mentioned how we're planning to move to the States next year. There's a lot of pros and cons to that, but certainly one of the cons for me is being much farther away. It's not easy to go to Japan. It's like from here, it's very easy. It's like you can get a round trip ticket for it's usually around like $200, $250, less than $300 certainly for a round trip ticket. For a flight to go to Japan, it only takes like an hour and a half. The flight anyway. Actually, I live kind of in a small city, so to get to the actual airport takes a few hours. So like the total travel time is a little bit longer, but still much easier to go there from here than from America. Let's see. Jonathan said, I went to Japan last year. Going to Diver City was a surreal experience. Yeah, well, we were lucky you went last year before the pandemic hit. Now it's kind of hard to go, I guess, eh? Let's see. Brendan said, my girlfriend was never keen until I took her. Now she's addicted to Japan as I check every day when it will be possible for us to go back. Yeah, man. The struggle is real. It's always a fun place to visit. I will tell you guys though, living there for a year, not an easy place to live in. I think like, I'm sure I've talked about this before, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard this before too, so, you know, I won't harp on the point too much, but, you know, I think a lot of people idolize Japan as like some, like, perfect haven of a country. It's just like in perfect harmony and everyone's great and everything's great and everything's cool and there's anime and all that. It's certainly not. They certainly have their share of social issues as well too, and it's a very complicated country. And like the longer you live there, I felt this, that like the longer I was there, the less I understood the country and like the society in general. It's like the more you learn about it, just like from being there in the society, like the more you're just like questioning like what is going on with these people. So I don't know. If any of you guys have lived there for any extended period of time, then you probably know what I mean, I guess. And again, I only lived there for a year, but I mean like spent a lot of time there other than that, just other than the year living there. Aren't you planning on moving to Florida to work at USA Gundam Store? Yes, Chris, that's right. Exactly right. And Jason, Jason asked where I'm planning to move in the US, and Chris just answered your question. Yes. Feeling a little chilly in here, actually. I'm gonna close this door. could also be that I'm drinking iced coffee, which is probably not helping me, but it's a little bit chilly. Yeah, Florida man meme. Yeah, I don't know. I've visited Florida a couple times, literally a couple times, 2 times when I was in high school. Once I went with my friend and his family for a vacation at Sanibel Island. If any of you guys are Floridians, maybe you know where that is. If you're not, then maybe not. But I've been there to Sanibel Island, and I've also been to Disneyland, Disney World. Disney World, it is in Florida, right? Disneyland's in California. So yeah, that's kind of my very limited Florida experience, and it was super hot and humid. That's kind of the main things that I remember. Which is fine. I definitely prefer warmer weather. I'm very much looking forward to no more winter. I grew up... Someone asked. Let's see. Someone just asked there in the chat. I didn't see. Hambuild also said, you get to deal with American politics when you get here. Oh, trust me, I keep up with American politics. I've mentioned this before. It's like one of the, probably the, like whenever I'm watching YouTube, most of what I watch on YouTube is just news from there in America, from different channels. But yeah, I'm certainly at least keeping up with what's on the news there in America, and yeah. I guess, yeah, when I'm there, I guess I'll be more in it, right? But where someone, I don't see where it is. Oh, it's Deadly, there it is. Deadly asked where I'm originally from in America. I'm originally from Illinois. There in America. I'm from Illinois. And not Chicago, though. This is a small city, Illinois. And I went to college in Kansas City, Missouri. KCMO. Great place. If you guys have never been there, I highly recommend it. You may think like, oh, why would I ever want to go to Kansas City? But no, it's really cool. Again, if any of you guys have ever been there, or if you live there, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a very cool city, despite being kind of in the middle of nowhere. Can't get this piece on here. Hello, Cybernetic. How am I doing? I'm doing fine. I'm excited to work on the ramen kit this afternoon. I'm enjoying building up this guy as well too. But after building it up, I won't be working on the review straight away until next week, until, like I mentioned earlier, until I'm able to get a new display base for my reviews, because mine crapped out yesterday. Hello, fellow Michigander. Michigan's a great place. I'm sure I've talked about this in live streams before too, but when I was growing up, my family, my parents and I used to go to Michigan. Usually like every summer, we'd go up there for a few days vacation. Every summer, go to like the Lake Michigan side. There's a lot of like cool beach towns there. Just trying to think. It's South Haven, right? South Haven, and what's another one? That's it. Around there. Something. Warren Dunes. I don't remember what's the city that's there, but that's the that's the park. Warren Dunes there. It's they're on that park. But yeah, been there a bunch. Growing up, every summer it was really great. Michigan's a nice place. Zach, what is your top 3 UC anime? Top 3 UC, Unicorn, 8th MS Team, and after that, well, if Turn A, if you it's technically UC, so if you consider that, then yeah. But if you're not including Turn A, because it's a little bit different, not including Turn A, then what would be my favorite UC? Maybe Zeta or Thunderbolt or Origin also is really good. Jellystone Campground. Like, would you consider painting your ramen kit? Yeah, Alvin, I mentioned this earlier. I'm definitely planning on painting the ramen kit. I'm just trying to decide on which colors to paint it. At the moment, I'm still kind of between like a Sentinel style, like Hummingbird kind of style color scheme, or Machining Krieger style color scheme. So, still not entirely decided. Zach, when you move to Florida, get a brick or concrete house. Hurricanes are a normal part of everyday life here. Ah, good to know. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. That's awesome that you're moving to Florida. I live in Orlando myself. It's about an hour to USA Gundam. Get ready to throw out all your winter clothes. Yeah, Steven, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it'll be really great to be just also kind of around, because like here in Korea, like I know there's some Koreans who like are aware of my channel and like watch my content, but obviously most of the people who watch my content are, it's like 40% like North America, US and Canada. So it'd be cool to be closer to like some of you guys who are around there. So like when we have meetups and stuff, once we're able to actually do that again, hopefully next year, it'd be cool to be able to, you know, hang out with some of you guys in person at meetups there and stuff at USA Gundam Store. And at different events around the country as well too. I'm sure I'll go to different GBWC events and stuff all the time, so it's hard to go from here, but once I'm living there in the States, it'd be much easier, so that'd be fun. No SC today, payday tomorrow. Oh yeah, yes, the super chat. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, D'Angelo. I know. And saving for a new PC at the moment. When I get more spending money, I'm getting the Stylet XF3 from the local Gunpla store. How's the build compared to an MG? The Stylet XF3 compared to an MG, I mean, obviously it's going to be, you know, different, but nothing you won't be able to handle, I'm sure. You're talking about the Frame Arms Girl kit, right? Or the Frame Arms kit. Is there like a XF3 Stylet kit? Not the Frame Arms Girl, but just the regular Frame Arms. I can't remember actually offhand. Is there? Nah. Now I'm like tripping out, trying to remember if there's a regular XF3 Stylet or if it's just only the Frame Arms Girl. Deadly Resonance. I've seen several channels saying that Gundam and mecha anime is dying. I see the argument that Gunpla is getting bigger than people realize. Usually people report Gunpla is dying as well. What are your thoughts? As far as the anime goes, I think like it goes up and down. I mean, like Build Fighters and Iron Blood Orphans were super popular and brought a lot of new people into the hobby through the anime. But now Build Divers, certainly not as popular by any means. So yeah, it is probably kind of on the downward trend at the moment. Also just because of the pandemic, of course, too. It's just kind of going to affect everything a little bit. But the pandemic also has had an inverse effect too, of that actual kit sales have been super good. Like Gunpla sales are like through the roof at the moment because people, you know, are quarantining or whatever, and so they're looking for hobbies to do indoors. And so like Gunpla is doing well. Gundam anime, I feel like, yeah, it's probably not very popular these days. So it's only a matter of time until they'll come out with a new anime that is really popular again. So like when a popular anime comes out, they pump out the kits. Like, you know, when Iron Blood Orphans was going, we were getting like a new HD Iron Blood Orphans kit, 1 or 2 like every month. And so like that's when like their Bandai's really chugging along and really, you know, putting out lots of stuff and people are buying lots of kits and things like that. But without a series like that and with a pandemic, yeah, it's kind of slow this year, but their sales in terms of like the numbers is really good. So I don't think anything's dying, but it just kind of goes through natural ups and downs. Now excuse me for a moment while I get back to building here. Not sure if other Gunpla, let's see here, other Gunpla fans agree, but Gundam anime is a flitter between superhero Gundams and military based. I'm more inclined towards military based. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They kind of have to. If they do every single series, always it's a superhero Gundams, always to the super robot theme every time, then the people who are fans of the more military stuff are going to gradually drift farther and farther away from their interest in the property overall. So they have to kind of go back and forth, right? Keep everyone happy as much as they can, right? Crossbone anime might be cool. I've heard that. I've also heard otherwise. So I don't know about Crossbone anime. I've heard both sides of that argument. Some people saying that they think it would be good, and some people saying that they don't think it would be good. Okay, so this is actually the right shoulder. So you like that. That goes up into there, and it's not actually held on by anything, is it? Is it? Doesn't seem to be. We'll definitely visit you at USA Gundam Store once it's safe. We're only 6 hours away. Only 6 hours? That's crazy. That's very far. Living in Korea has certainly altered my perspective on distance. Yeah, like when I lived in the States, I would be also kind of thinking like, because from my hometown to where I went to school in Kansas City, Missouri, it was about a 6-hour drive. And so, yeah, I would drive that, you know, a few times a year, of course, to go back home, visit family, holidays and stuff, of course. But now, like in Korea, you can't, well, you can, I guess, but there's very few places you can go in Korea where it takes you 6 hours to drive. You can go pretty much anywhere in like 4 hours, maybe 5 hours max if you're going like really remote city in like one corner to the remote city in the other corner. So like here like Korean people, they like don't want to have to drive to a city that's like, there's like a lot of people. I live in like the south side, and like Seoul is up in the north part of South Korea, so like near the DMZ, closer to the DMZ, and it's about 4-hour drive, and I know people here in like the city where I live. I've met people that have never been to Seoul because it's too far away. It's 4 hours away, and it's like the biggest city. It is the biggest city here, of course, but I mean like it's one of the biggest cities, not only in Korea but in like, it's a huge city. All right, so it's pretty crazy. Shocking, in fact. But yeah. Yeah, I've been on, you know, when I was growing up, I said like we lived in Illinois, and we've been to Michigan a bunch, and that was like a 5-6 hour drive, depending on where in Michigan we were going. And then we also, all my dad's family lived in Cincinnati, so to drive like from my hometown to Cincinnati was like a 7-8 hour drive, and we went there a few times a year too, so like I was used to those long drives enough. That's wrong. But now, like here in Korea, if I drive for like if I have to drive for like longer than an hour, I'm just really struggling to not be falling asleep. So I just can't do long drives anymore. So like usually when we have to drive somewhere far away, like to go on the highway, and then usually my wife drives, because she's weird and for whatever reason likes driving on the highway. So like whenever we go somewhere, it's like if it's somewhere far away, she'll drive on the highway, and then once we get to the city, I'll be driving in the city because she feels like kind of nervous, especially if it's like in Seoul or Busan, like a big city or a city we've never been before, and like we're having to use the navigation in the car to get around, whatever. I feel totally comfortable with that, but she feels more nervous, and on the highway I was just too sleepy, but she's fine with it, so it works out well. Let's see, what did you say, Brendan? Korea Gunpla question: how come so many Korean modelers focus on resin garage kits? Seems like the highest number of resin Gundam kits come out of Korea. I don't know. Couldn't really tell you. Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that, and I'm kind of annoyed that this chest vent keeps popping out. But yeah, as far as Korean, damn, every time I put the kit down, it just pops out. Pop it back into place, and it seems like, oh, that popped in there. It sounded solid enough that it's stuck in there. See? Oops. Oops. Damn. Come on. There you go. See, it clicked into there, and it seems like I heard the little click. It seems like it's in, and I want to put it down very gently. Whew. Okay, didn't fall out that time. All right. What do you think about the MG Wing Custom Verka? Looking forward to it or don't care? I'm looking forward to it. With an asterisk. I kind of don't like, if someone told me that that's coming out, I'd be like, yeah, kind of don't really care. But at the same time, I am kind of looking forward to it as well too. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just that I'm always looking forward to building any new kit. It's always fun to build something new. So in that sense, yes, I'm looking forward to it. In general, though, it's not really that exciting. I mean, like, I do like the design. Of course, there's the nostalgia factor as well too, and the kit looks fantastic. So I'm sure it'll be a good build. There's a lot of other things I would have preferred. So I mean, that's kind of the thing for me, but it is what it is. Do plan on painting that. I should be able to. That doesn't come out until November, and I'll surely be done with the MG EX Unicorn at that time. Like I said, I should be done by next week. So I think the Wing Verka is meant to come out like towards the end of November as well too. I don't know for sure, but definitely should be able to fit that in the schedule to paint that kit once that comes out. I'd like to, but we'll definitely have to try to do it, somewhat quickly, because I want to work on the PG, new PG RX-782 when that comes out, which is 1 month later in December. So got to be on the ball if I want to try to paint some of these new releases. The wing, though, I think will not be as time-consuming of a kit as like the MG EX Unicorn. It's a very time-consuming kit to paint just because there's so many parts, and you can't put anything together until like the very end, basically. So the entire process, you have all these parts to deal with. There's just a million parts laid out on my desk over there for all the pieces for that. So, Patrick, have you considered doing your own merch, shirts, hats, or maybe USA Gundam Store doing merch with your logo on it? Patrick, I do have my own merch store. The link is down below. All of my, not my live stream videos, but all my other regular videos. I do have a merch store. It's just that it's in very deep neglect at the moment. But anything you want is still available on there. It's like what do you call that? It's made to order. I think is probably the wrong word for that, but it's not like I have like a big warehouse of stock of it. It's like when you order it, then the company makes it. That makes sense. So, yeah. If you just search Zakurilius merch, should probably find it. But yeah, it's been something I have been thinking about a lot recently. I need to get back to that. Clean up the site. I'll probably take a bunch of those designs off that are on there now and work on some new ones for that. So it's definitely something that I've been thinking about recently that I need to work on. So try to make some cool new stuff for there sometime in the near future. But that does exist. Oops. Let's see, when did you first know about Gunpla? About 20 years ago. Whenever that was. When Gundam was on TV in the US. Oops. Shouldn't forget these little guys. It always kind of bothers me a little bit when you have designs where like these like rings around the elbow joint there. On the elbows they're white, on the knees they're gray. It always kind of bothers me when they're not the same color, being either both white or both gray. Does that bother anyone else, or is it just me? Yeah, I'm trying to find an A to Z Gundam. Any tips on finding older kits that don't cost a ton? That's probably going to be a tough one, yeah, considering that was an exclusive kit kind of at the time. Not P-Bandai, but it was like an Amazon exclusive, right? So I have mine, but I'm sorry, I don't think I really want to sell it because I quite like that kit. So yeah, eventually I'd love to paint it. What's different between this RG and the one from your video? Well, the chest. Is the head different? I think the head is the same, right? The chest, the shoulders, the legs, the lower legs, the backpack, core fighter. The chest vent fell out again. I think that's about it. The waist armor is a little bit different as well too. See, you have this little gimmick here where these are supposed to pop out right here, right? It's a little switch. I maybe need my tweezers to pop this out. This little switch. There you go. And those little thruster bells on the side pop out of there. And then you should be able to open these up, right? Angle them out a little bit too. Like that. That's pretty cool. Little verniers on the shoulder can pop out like that. I guess this whole section, you can just move it out with that. That's easier than using a little switch. Alright. So, that's all done. And we can put the body together, but I just want to build the weapons up first before we do that. You got the old HGUC to compare with this one? No, Hasaki, unfortunately I don't. Burn stick? I don't know what you guys are talking about a burn stick. What is this burn stick you're talking about? So we got our effect parts, our pilot figure. Don't need that right now. Oh, oops, actually. Come out of there. That's a wrap. Pretty nice to see this live while doing some work, Kuso. Well, I'm glad you're joining. Finally, it was noticed. Yes, it was noticed. Congratulations. Let's see. Okay. Let's build weapons. I wanted to put together these little beam saber handles here first. With effect part. Oops, where'd that go? Beam rifle. Is the beam rifle? It should be the same, right? But the construction of it seems different. I don't remember it going like that. The order of the construction seems slightly different. Not for any particular reason, I don't know, as far as I can tell, but the barrel and the buddy. Handle. I do really like the beam rifle design for this Gundam. It's pretty cool. That goes on there, and this part over the top. Like that, and this should just go on here like that, right? That's it, right? Is it? No. Forgot the camera. That's why that was a little bit not looking right. There we go. Camera and ECAP. There we are. I think I remember you mentioning having kids. Have they shown interest in model building? Not really, Cybernetic Phoenix. Not particularly, but my wife and I were recently discussing maybe getting a simple kit for my son to try. My son just turned 5, and my daughter is still not yet 3. She'll be 3 in January, so she's, still too young, but... yeah, we'll see. My son hasn't shown an interest in model building, but he likes building stuff, and of course he likes robots and all that kind of stuff too. So he might be into it well enough. So we'll see. Maybe if I can get him into it, I can get him to be my assistant. When new kits and stuff come out, I can have him build the kits for me, and I just do the review. I can spend more time just painting and stuff, and he can just build the kits for me. That'd be easier, don't you think? All right, let's schlep. Oh yeah. A couple of stickers on here, and then we'll put them all together. Let's see. just for the sake of it. Oof. On blue, the stickers are not looking great. Do you think there will be 0083 kits for its 30th anniversary next year? Juno Alpha, I've not heard anything about that through my sources, but seems like it would make sense, and it seems like it'd be a good time for it. So, I mean, fingers always crossed on some new, well, I mean, kind of the main thing is 2.0 MG kits. So, I mean, 2.0 GP01 kit. I think what would be cool, a 2.0 GP01, I guess some people might like this or might not like this, but a 2.0, hang on, sorry. A 2.0 a GP01 kit that is like the PG, where it gives you all the parts to make either the regular GP01 or the full Bernern type. Personally, I kind of don't really like when Bandai does that, just because then you're left with a bunch of parts that you're not going to be able to use, and so it seems like kind of a waste when they do that. But I mean, also having that option, I feel like a lot of people will like that, to have that option. They can do it half and half if they wanted to, or they just have the ability to switch it later if they want, or something like that. So, and it just seems like something like Bandai would do. They would just make it as like that. If they're going to do the 2.0, they give you the option to make both. Personally, not how I would prefer it, but that seems like probably the most likely way of how it would come out if they did a 2.0, I think. Yeah. And I think probably it would be a thing where they would only do a 2.0 of one of the Gundams, either the GP01 or the GP03. Probably a 2.0 of the GP02 I think is much less likely, because so far they haven't really done like a series of 2.0 kits. It's not like after the 2.0 Freedom then they did a 2.0 Strike Freedom and then a 2.0 Strike kit. They don't really do series of that. They do like the 1 Year War Xeon kits. They have like the Zaku 2, the Galgoog, the Dom, not the Dom, unfortunately not yet, the Goof, the Gyan. Like they have those, but they're not like necessarily like a series of them like the GP01, GP02, GP03. So I think if there's any 2.0 MG that's going to come out from this series, probably just going to be 2.0 GP01, I would say. And my prediction would be that it will give you all the parts to make either one version or the other. You'll have all the you'll have all the parts within one box. Of course, the other way that they could go with it is making just like the Zephranthes the main kit, and then the full Bernern as a P-Bandai kit, which is possible as well too, but I kind of don't think that they would go that way with it. I think more likely they would just include all the parts together in one box. Brian said, try so hard to make the GP03 look good. Too much mod. Yeah, I mean, modifying the old kits to look good would take a lot of work. Can be done, certainly. Would that be kind of like the, like the 1.5S XS set? Yeah, exactly. Toasted soup. Yes. Exactly. Like that set where you can make either the S Gundam or the XS Gundam. It's great to have that option, but either way you have a lot of leftover plastic that you can't do anything with. So yes, I think probably it would be something along those lines, what they would do for that. So alright, let's get this guy transformed, kind of transformed, or formed, I guess probably is the better word for that, into his Gundam form. Fully formed Gundam form. This chest vent we'll put in later as well too. So let's see, what do we need to do with this? So we need to take off the landing gear first. That'd be good. Not gonna need that. And fold this flap down, and the beam saber handles, rotate those up to to the top and pointing back, and point the nose cone it down and fold that all the way down. With these flaps up. I need my tweezers. Flap up like that, and this part also moves up ever so slightly. Up and fold it down. These parts extend out. Ooh, that's cool. And angle those back. Oh, and there's a little, okay, that fits in there, a little plug in there, that fits okay. And then, just a matter of popping on the top half of this. Like that. Easy enough. And then just drop it down onto the bottom half. And that's all there is to it. The question is that connected or not? Because I had this with the first one as well too. It was on, but I wasn't totally sure it was actually really connected or not, and I'm still not totally sure. As long as it stays on there, that's fine. With the cockpit hatches being red on this version and the other version they're blue, I think, right? They were blue, yeah. With them being red, it just looks like a weird parrot beak or something like that on the front of the body. Yeah, that. Oh no, it's not connected. Let's try that again. Kale. Hey, Kale. Thanks for the super chat there. Appreciate that. Cool. Still mad at you for ruining that nightingale. I didn't ruin the nightingale, Practical Zaku. I washed it off. It's totally clean. It's not put back together, but it's all cleaned off. It's not oily. Of course, it was all oily from all the meat and sauce and stuff on that, but no, it's not roiled at all. It's not ruined at all. Not broiled. It's clean. Nothing's broken. It's just in a bunch of pieces. So, no, my nightingale's totally fine. Yeah, I'm not super convinced by that connection, but anyway, it's connected well enough. There we go. So yeah, man, like with the Zephyranthus, is a really tough looking kit. There goes the chest vent. Damn, that's gonna be annoying. I'm gonna be tempted to want to glue that in, but he has the gimmick of popping that out for the little thruster bells to pop out the front of the chest, so. Had to just put some spit on it temporarily to make that stay in there. But you just adjust the camera here. Bear with me a moment so you guys can get a better look at this. I just need to raise that up a bit there, don't I? Yep. There we go. Ta-da! And yeah, probably won't mess around with putting any more stickers on there. I put the stickers on the shoulders and the sticker on the shield. That's kind of enough. So, does seem a little bit more touchy than the Zephyranthus, but there he is. What do you guys think about that? It does look very cool. Yes, definitely. So, I mean, just don't mess around with it. Just build it up and admire it. And definitely worth 25 bucks. I mean, this is in the early days of the RG line when like 2,500 yen was like the standard price for all the kits out in the line at that time. Which one was the first like combo breaker in that? Was it the Shinanju? Was the Shinanju the first one that was over 2,500 yen? Even like the stray red frame was 2,500 yen, the Zigok, they were all 2,500 yen. Until, I guess, probably the Shinanju, I guess. Oak Tree, yes, I'm done already, dude. You know, I prepare all the parts ahead of time, so it's not really that complicated. And I just built pretty much the same kit earlier this week, so yeah, it's a pretty, for the most part, kind of familiar build. So that also made it go a little bit faster than normal. Is it just me? Is your cutting mat curvy? Yes, my cutting mat it has some heat warping going on. I need to get a new one. Maybe later today. It's a good thing. I need to go get a new one. It bothers me a lot too, but I'm just lazy to go get a new one. I like this big massive cutting mat here that covers the whole desk, but yeah, it's just warped from heat, I think, from having my laptop on it. So that's what I should do. I should get one of those like little like a little raised, like a little tiny raised wooden platform, just like that you can put your computer on, and just like sets it up just a couple centimeters, a couple inches off your desk or whatever. I should get one of those for doing these live streams, whatever. I think that would be a good idea. I should go grab one of those today or this weekend as well too. I should make a list. I need to write it down because I'm definitely gonna forget if I don't write it down. On my phone, yes. Let's see. New note. New cutting mat. New cutting May? No, don't autocorrect me. And then also laptop stand. I don't know if that's what to call it, but I'll know what that means. All right. Speedball Hurl. Now we need a GP02 RG. Yeah, that would be cool. Probably not gonna happen, but it would be cool. All right, guys. So that's it for today. It's 12 o'clock noon on the dot. It took us exactly 2 hours, just under 2 hours. I guess technically we started just slightly after 10. Like I said, my plan for this afternoon is to work on a fun video with the cup ramen kit. So I'll work on that and have that coming out for you guys. If not tonight, then tomorrow. And yeah, I need to get my rotating display base fixed so that I can work on the review for this guy early next week. And yeah, just working on painting and finishing up the MGEX. Hopefully next week as well too. It should be done. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to all you guys who use the super chat as well too. Really appreciate that. All you guys on Twitch there as well too. I try to keep up. I know that there's not as much chatter going on in the Twitch compared to on YouTube, but I do try to keep my eye on Twitch. I have the Twitch chat over here as well too, but I feel like I probably miss a lot of what you guys are saying on Twitch, so sorry about that to you guys. Yeah, and if you guys weren't aware that I am also on Twitch when I do these live streams, so you can check that out if you prefer to watch on Twitch in the future. But that's it for today, guys. So I'll have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I'll see you with the ramen video next. And see you guys later. Bye bye.